Hello everyone. On today's CNA Try It, we're going to be making a floating shelf utilizing only one piece of wood. I'll start by cutting down a 2x8 piece of southern pine. My speed square is the best tool to guarantee a nice straight cut on the initial end. From here, I'll measure out 6 feet. That length should be plenty for our shelf. Any more than that might be a bit too heavy for this particular method. Again, mark a nice straight line and complete the cut. Along the edge of one side, I made marks about every 12 inches and placed a dot to indicate the center. Using a drill and a 1/2 inch bit, drill the holes out at each center spot. At this point, I went ahead and did the initial sanding. Now there are a few more steps before the final sanding can be completed, but I wanted to go ahead and get a jump start. Now we want to measure and cut out our connecting dowels. I picked up a 3-foot 1/2 inch dowel at the hardware store. Measure and mark every 4 inches. Make as many of these dowels as you need. Here I have set up my table saw to 1.5 inches. This cut strip will be what attaches to the wall when installing. Remember those dowels I cut earlier? Well, in order to use them properly, we need to modify them. Just stand each dowel up against the backing strip and mark the height. Now I'll darken out the lower half. We're going to sand them down just a little bit. Place the dowel into the drill and chuck it just like a traditional drill bit. This makes it super easy to hold and sand. Grip a sanding sponge and line it up to the line's edge. Take off just a little bit so the dowel can easily move inside the primary shelf. At this point, we now have everything we need. Take the backing strip and line it up with the shelf portion. Take a dowel and lightly hammer it into each existing hole. Repeat this process until all holes are plugged. The unsanded portion will be nice and snug inside the backing strip. Once this is accomplished, you can easily slip the two pieces apart. Off camera, I reassembled the shelf and did a final sanding. Remember to take a nice clean cloth and wipe it down thoroughly afterwards to remove any sawdust. Now you can paint or stain it to your own liking. We decided to use a mini wax Simply White stain. Now pay attention to this section. This is what not to do. This is my wife's favorite part. Just watch. Unfortunately, my folding table decided to collapse. I wasn't happy, but hey, the garage concrete needed some extra character. At least that's what I said. Alright, after all of that, I protected it with a nice coat of polyurethane. I let it dry and then moved inside. It's time to finally mount this bad boy to the wall. You can see that I have already made pilot holes in the shelf and started the screws. I'm lining up the backing strip with the center mark so all of the screw heads align with the studs in the wall. This will provide substantially more strength than wall anchors will. Once that first screw is in place, take a level and make sure it's nice and straight. Then you can fasten the remaining screws. Finally, take the shelf and align the dowels with the holes and gently tap into place. You can secure the two parts with a screw or two underneath if you like. Now let's take a look at that final result. Not too shabby. However, in the end, I wasn't sure of the weight capacity, so we added some nice wrought iron brackets for additional stability. You can decide which version suits you the best. We hope you enjoyed watching the video and hope that it inspires you to make one or more on your own. If it did, we hope you will hit the like button and the subscribe button on your way to the next video. Again, thank you so much for watching. God bless.